The January window has been and gone. We've made 28 transfers in total across January, both in and out, and we've had an 8-goal thriller in the Cup. Welcome back. Episode 3 of the Atalanta stage of our Doleboy for this year. It's not been going brilliantly for January. We've had a busy window, as I'm sure you can tell. Hopefully in 3-4 weeks' time, when all these new players gel in, we'll see this little line here creeping its way up to the top. But as of the moment, we are 14th in the league. We do need to finish top half, so we need to do something to shorten the gap between us and the teams at the top. We'll start off with transfers, the biggest one of which we've let Tayun Koopmeiners go. I wasn't too happy about letting him go, to be quite honest. We didn't bring in a vast amount of money. He's came in for 17.5 million, so we did see a 5 million benefit over his entire time with us. Obviously, he's been one of our best players for the last, 9 years? I didn't particularly want to let him go, but he wanted to leave to get Champions League football. He is 31. He was nearing towards the end of his contract. I think he had a good year or so left. But I didn't want to kind of keep him here and risk losing the team dynamics. Another name that's left us, Jean-Claire Tadibo, has gone out to Monaco. He went for £9 million. So we bought him in as a team for 14.75. We've lost just shy of 5 million on him, and he's played 30 games over the 2 seasons. And one more of the names that's left us is Christos Zolis, not sure exactly on that. He went for 11.25 million. We did sign him for 21.5 about 5 years back. 4 years back, probably. He's been all right. He's played 100 plus games, scored, just over 20 in the league. So he's not been fantastic. So I'm happy to let him go for the money we brought in. We have replaced him as well. I have got a lot more players that have left, but I'll summarise the players that we've brought in and I'll do an overview just after this. I identified a key position and it was left back. I said that I brought in an old face and it was Aaron Martin. He's came in to cover left back. I wasn't planning for him to be my kind of premium left back, top, best, priority, probably the word I was going for. But he's came in as cover. I'm probably going to be playing Van den Ven out at left back now, or even Joachim Mailer. So we brought in Aaron Martin for £1 million. Along with him in defence, we've brought in Lasse Benson. He's came in from Hertha Berlin for 11 million. They signed him for 2 million just before. He's played 4 games for us and he's got an average rating of 6.4. As I said, we're not having a fantastic January. I'll show you results shortly. But he is 6 foot, pretty decent pace as well. He can play just in front of the strikers if needs be. He can't play in front of the strikers. That's a lie. Play in front of the centre-backs if needs be. But no, he looks pretty decent. He's got a nice little bit of potential as well. Potential to be a leading Serie A right-back, oddly. But obviously we want him at centre-back. The other defender we signed, also Scandinavian, and also from Hertha Berlin, was Marcus Holmgren Pedersen. He's came in for 2.5 million. He's played 3 games. He's got a rating of 7.1, so at least he's doing all right. He's challenge and cover out on that right-hand side for Joachim Mailer. They can both play left-back as well if needs be. Moving up the park, cover at midfield, we've brought in Ezequiel Palacios. He's kind of my Koopmeiners replacement. Decent player. He can play holding mid or he can play centre mid if needs be. He is going to be playing the Mazzala role. I'm not sure whether I want to do a deep line playmaker or ball winning midfielder. I'm not 100% sure at the holding role, but he can play both of those positions pretty handily. He's came in for 16.5 million. He hasn't played a game yet, as I said. So we've gained just over £1 million, and we've got a player that actually wants to play for us. And we've chopped down the wage budget ever so slightly with the difference between him and Koopmeiners. Another centre mid we've brought in is Alain Lacombe. He looks pretty goddamn strong. He is only 5'4", so that's not brilliant. I would like him to be taller than a 6-year-old, but he's technically a very good player, so I'm hoping that will be enough to cover. And he's going to be playing the Mazzala role, so he doesn't need to be getting in the box too often. It's not ideal that he's a shorty, but it's fine. He's came in for 27 million from loans. Not all of that is up front. I think it's about 11 million and 16 over the next 3 years. He hasn't played for us as of yet, but he's been doing all right for them over the last few years. And I've brought in a pair of strikers. We have Carlisle, who's came in from AC Milan, 6'1", pretty strong, pretty fast, decent dribbling as well. Finishing isn't quite there, but I'm hoping because we've got 3 of them, one of them's going to stick it in the net surely. He's came in for a little bit of money, not a lot, a little bit, £9 million. He's played 1 game and got a rating of 6.2, so we'll just ignore that part. But I think he'll do a decent job for us. Along with Carlisle, another striker we've signed from one of our rivals is Tommaso Gida. He has got the finishing stats, and the composure, and the heading, and the first touch, and the technique. It's all very good, along with his flair. Pretty strong. He's not the fastest, he's not the strongest, and he doesn't have the best stamina. His physical stats do leave quite a bit to be desired. But overall, I think, again, he'll do a decent job. He's came in from Brescia for 5.5 million. He's played 1 game, got a rating of 6.5, so he was better than Carlisle's was. I says that I needed a new goalkeeper, so I've brought in Adriel, 21. He's happy to come in as a backup, because I originally planned to bring in Alex Mere at the end of his contract. He decided to go to Shakhtar instead. So this did leave me with just Adriel, unfortunately, and Garbin, neither of which were particularly fantastic. At the moment, Adriel will definitely grow in and be a much better goalkeeper than he is currently. Can improve a lot in future. He is only 5'11", and jumping reach of 10 isn't the best. But his reactions and reflexes, etc., are very strong. He's had a few very good games for us. The games themselves haven't ended up the best. He's conceded at least 2 a game, or on average 2 a game, should I say. But he's got a rating of 7.1, so he's been one of our best players. Hence why, as I said, January's not been brilliant. Along with all that, I've panicked and I've signed another goalkeeper, and that is Franz Berger. He's came in from Bayern Munich for £17.25 million. He's decent, 6'2". He's strong already. His potential is fantastic. He could improve significantly in future. So yes, 17.25 million, and then 50 million over the next 3 years. I've spent £67 million on a goalkeeper. I did say it was a panic. It was about 2-3 hours of the window left. I'm really hoping that this doesn't backfire. But he has played half of the season for Bayern Munich in goal, so obviously he's pretty decent. He was playing semi-regularly for him previously, but they've popped in between the sticks. So we've actually nabbed Bayern Munich's top scorer. First team goalkeeper. An annoyance is they've took 2 players from us that we were trying to sign, and if I can find out who they are, I'll show you, and you'll be also annoyed, I'm sure. So we went for Gonçalo Arantes for 19 million. He's gone in straight into the Bayern Munich team. Just decided not to join us, which was very frustrating. And along with that, they've also signed Ayoub van Tamelen, who we were trying to sign, who's that kind of centre-back, holding mid, maybe in centre-mid kind of player that we were looking at. No, he joined Bayern Munich instead. Very rude. So they've nabbed 2 players off us. So I've nabbed a goalie off them. So in summary, we've had a busy window. Overall, our players that came in were Martin through Berger, and the players sold is literally everyone there. So there's a bunch of loanees, a bunch of players that we've just got rid of, like the likes of Tussar, Campamaggio, Oliveira. There's 2 other players that went to Roma in Ode and Vuskovic. Vuskovic was actually one of our kind of main 3 or 4 centre-backs. Just needed to get rid of them, to be honest. We needed a little bit of money in. We've brought in total this year 90 million. We've spent 168. Before we jump into the games and fixtures that I've played in between, if you could do me the favour, I've realised I'm just saying this now, of like and subscribe and show your support on the channel, that would be greatly appreciated. Give the bell a little tickle, show you as soon as the videos are uploaded. What I have done is kind of plunged us into a little bit of debt, so we need to fix that. The club themselves are 35 million in debt. Debts and loans is further 62 million. So I need to be a good boy from now on and actually sign players that we can afford. But I needed to bring in some youth, which I think I've done a pretty good job in that. Mix it up with a few experienced players that are very good, likes of Ezequiel Palacios. It's done us well in this window. No, we've lost every game in January except for one. We kicked it off with a 4-3 loss against Lazio. with an 85th minute goal from them, taking it to 4-2. We scored 91st, didn't really mean much. Torino, we then beat 2-0. Followed it up with a 1-0 loss against Bologna. We were 4-2 up in the 92nd minute against Lazio in the Cup. Yeah, they knocked us out. Scored 94, 96, then beat us on penalties. That was very frustrating. And then to end the month, we lost 3-2 to Inter Milan. Another late goal from us, which didn't really mean much because they'd already had a 2-goal cushion. So we've got some work to do to start getting things on side. If we go to the dynamics, it's not brilliant. It's not bad. It's just not great. There's still a few unhappy players pottering about. A star player, Zolis, just not a star player at all, is he? And the managerial support, that will come with us getting some wins eventually on the board. But the cohesion will come up over the next month or so. Club atmosphere will start coming up with some wins as well. So let's go and get one of those wins. The team to play, Sampdoria. They are currently sat in 9th in the league, so they are quite a bit ahead of ourselves. We have Berger in goal, Holmgren, Pedersen, Benson, Pavasuli, and Van den Ven across the back four. Maciel playing behind Lacombe and Palacios. And then we have Henrique behind Esposito and Ferran up top. So we have got rid of a few of our strikers, but we're still playing the same three that we started before the window. We do have the likes of Gida, Carlisle, Martin, Adriel on the bench of our new signings. The form is pretty horrific. We're fixing it. Don't worry. Don't panic. You stop panicking. Sampdoria's form is almost as bad. They've actually lost their last 3. So they're going to be wanting to try and put that to right. We are at the moment 10 points behind them. So we really could do with shortening that gap. Half time. Literally nothing's happened. I haven't seen one highlight. We also haven't had a shot on target, which is concerning. They've had 4 and they've got the same XG as us, which I'm not quite sure how that's possible. But I suppose with their pot shots, they've actually managed to point them between the white sticks. We have a highlight. It only took 50 minutes, but we've got a highlight. It's launched up towards the Sampdoria strikers, and a header away from our defenders. Palacios into Henrique, forward towards Ferran, and an easy collect there from Rinaldi. That was it. That was the highlight. That was the most exciting thing that's happened so far this game. We've got another one. Favasuli, short to Maciel, knocked cutely back to him. Van den Ven on the left side, short to Henrique. It seems that deep line forward's the one that just does all the running. Ferran's found a gap. Ferran's running at the gap. Ferran scored in the goal. How exciting. 55 minutes in, we've got ourselves a goal to the good. The pass here from Ferran isn't the best. He's just very fortunate. It finds its way back to him, and he just kind of runs at the hole. But he does a good job, sticking it in the back of the net. He's wanted by 3 English teams. I believe it's Leicester, Chelsea, and I assume the third one's West Ham, but I don't know why I'm assuming that. We have just short of an hour on the clock. We'll see where this highlight comes through to. We'll make some substitutions. Berger launches that ball forward, and it's nodded away by the Sampdoria defence. Aslani, that's probably it, to be fair, is running out onto their left-hand side. Capaferri into Janelt, Cuse, and Lacombe has got the ball back for us. All 5'4" of him. He's a little bulldog. Esposito out on the right side. Go on, go find yourself some space, whip the ball in, get us 2 goals up. He's done just that. Henrique, and it's headed away. Janelt and Aslani and the centre. Ndoye, Palacios going to get the ball back for us. He's going to do a little bit of defending. Yes, he's done just that. Well done. Oh, never mind. We've lost possession immediately. Vignato's tried for a header at the edge of the area, and it's found its way just over. We'll make those subs. I'm going to bring Esposito off for Carlisle, and we'll swap those 2 strikers over. So we'll put Carlisle on the left, his stronger side. Likewise, we'll bring off Maciel. We'll put Martin out at left back, and we'll move Van den Ven forward. Put Benson into that gap. And I'll drop it now to be a ball-winning midfielder on support. A corner for ourselves. Aaron puts it in towards Favasuli. It hits the crossbar, and it is dealt with eventually. About 13 minutes. Another corner. Favasuli again wins it. It's somehow not gone in. Our guy was stood there inside the 6-yard box with the ball at his feet and the goal empty in front of him, and somehow the ball didn't end up in the net. Very, very annoying, especially considering we're probably not going to win this game now. Holmgren, Pedersen, back to Van den Ven. You're probably wondering where Joachim Mailer is, because I haven't told you. I signed Holmgren Pedersen to challenge Mailer at right back, And Mailer immediately got himself an injury and was out for about a month. Our players just had a shot with the goalkeeper stood next to him and didn't score. Benson, Palacios, these are the things, like, it's working. We know the formation works. It's just not quite there yet for this team. Aaron out on the left, towards the back post, but jump wasn't quite there. Less than 5 minutes left now. It seems that Sampdoria are having their attack to score the customary late goal against us to deny us a win or draw or anything. It's put to the back post. Oh, and it's crashed off the crossbar. I've just made the mistake of encouraging us. It seems that it's going to come through to a win anyway. Perfect. Points on the board. That's all we needed. I'm not sure who's we're the black team on here. Even though the kits were in blue and white, we're represented by a black line for no reason whatsoever. After getting a nice little green counter on the calendar, we'll be back for the games against Juve and Milan. Hopefully, in that time, we might have the youth intake as well, so I'll be able to give you an update on that. But I hope to see you there in that episode. If you have enjoyed what we're doing, then you know what to do. Like, subscribe, all that madness. There's some items on screen as well for you now. And thank you very much for your time.